Hello and welcome to another episode in my Warhammer 40,000 Conquest series. In this episode we will be painting the terrain accessories kit that you got in issue 23. And before I get started, yes, I've already painted bare brown plastic, the armor containers in silver because I did the inside, but I didn't do it directly. I cheated by painting it black first. So this will be my first time that I actually paint this brown plastic with Leadbelcher. Let's see how that goes. Stay tuned. Right, I got my tea. Got my fresh water. Got my paints. Got my brushes. Let's have a look here. Paint Leadbelcher. Couldn't be too hard.
1 hour later.
Okay.
2 hours later.
Okay.
12 o'clock midnight.
Welcome back. So following the instructions in the book, I've already got ahead with doing the base coats of the colours that we needed. So the barrels, Mephiston red, it took about 3 good coats on there. The ammo crates and this power cell thing, I didn't bother painting the edges in Death Guard green because we're going to black them out anyway, so it seemed like a waste of paint. The same with the ammo shells here, I didn't want to waste the green paint. Now with the silver, I haven't finished it yet. This has taken me 5 layers to completely blot out the brown. Now with the armor containers, I had used the Abaddon black as a base, and because I did that, I only needed 2 layers of the Leadbelcher. You know, thin down nicely, smooth even coats. So I tried to do a similar thing here, but without that base coat. Oh my god, it took so long. So my advice is you could do one of 2 things. Go buy yourself a spray, in which case you can get yourself the Chaos Black spray. It's a good base colour to start with. Or you can just buy Leadbelcher spray. Straight away, poof, that's your base coat done. Second option is to paint it Abaddon black first, and then paint on the Leadbelcher, and it will save you so much time. I wasted an entire evening doing this, and I still need to do one more coat on this just to get that nice even finish, because we will be layering up later on in the series, and you know, doing highlights and stuff, but you want to make sure that you got a nice even consistent base coat, otherwise it's all going to show through. And if you look closely in the pictures, you can actually still see some of that brown in those pictures show through, so they obviously struggled a bit as well. So what I did was I used the large base brush in that good shake. I hope they send us some more Leadbelcher soon, because with all the scenery that will be coming soon, oh, gonna run out of it. Put a little bit there, tiny drop of water, because it's a metallic paint, so metallic paints, they break up quite easily when you water them down too much, so you need to just like use the tiniest bit. Okay, and then just make sure, keep it consistent and even, get in all those nooks and crannies. Alright, so once you've done that, you then go back to the Leadbelcher again and you get your barrels and you pick out these details as well. I'm using a medium layer brush here. Make sure you don't load up your brush too much, so a bit of water in there, point your brush, make sure you use the palette to thin out. Lovely jubbly. You can also pick out details in here like the gun magazines. And there's some magazines here as well, and also the hinges at the back. You can also paint these handles here on this piece as well. You've got these large areas here that you can paint, so these are dotted around as well. Okay, so once you've done those little details with the Leadbelcher, you then move on to your Retributor armor. Start picking out the little details. So with this, it's this little bit here, and remember, get all your fingers touching the elbows or your wrists, leaning against the table, and then this way you'll get a nice steady hand, so you don't make too many, if any, spills. Like so. Nice and easy on that. And then it's going to be all these bullets and rounds. Don't worry about doing the these straps that hold them in, because we'll paint them in Abaddon Black soon after, and these shells as well. And you may need a couple of layers just to get this right. Right, and once you finish with the Retributor Gold, you then want to get some Abaddon Black and just paint in these straps as well. So take your time with it, try and be neat. You don't want to waste time going back over the gold. Alright, you do these straps as well. And then with this, you want to do that, but I'd suggest using a slightly bigger brush to do that. And also, you want to do the handles on this crate as well. Alright, once that's all dried, next up it's time to do your shading. So we'll start with non-oil. Make sure you put it on your palette so you get your control, and then you just grab everything that's silver and slather it all over, like so. And try not to pull, let it pull like this. You want to push it around as much as possible. So make sure you get a good amount on there, and then just start pushing it like so. This as well. And you don't have to be neat with it, because all of this would be quite dirty and grimy, and it wouldn't be clean. So you don't have to worry too much about being neat and just going in the grooves. You just do the whole thing like so. Do the same with that, and then carefully do the little details in the ammo crates as well. Once you're finished with that, you move on to the aggressor shade and shade in all the gold details that you have done as well. Finally, with the Bugman's Glow, you get a little bit on your palette, you get your dry brush, work the colour in, you get your tissue, get the worst stuff, there's something like that, and then you have at it on the barrels. And it's a nice quick thing to do, but it's really effective, and it really brings out those little details on the barrels. And of course you have your little fuel can. So you could do the same on that as well. So here we are again for another community focus segment, and this time is for the Battlefield accessory kit. Now, I didn't have the post up for long, so I only got one good reply with a picture. So I'll skip right to it, and it's from Lee Coop, and here's the picture right now. As you can see, he's done a really good job here, and well, it looks like he's used different tones of greens on those ammo crates, and he's highlighted stuff there. And for the texture on the tank traps, to make them look more rusted and worn, and you know, have like muck on them, it looks like he's used the texture paint for the bases and then painted over those, and it looks really good and really effective. So I hope you get some inspiration from this, and you see what you can achieve when you just experiment a little bit with what you're given. And that concludes this episode's community focus. There will be another one in the next episode for the Redemptor Dreadnought, so look out for that post on Facebook. And if you need to know where, the link's in the description below. So thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something. I hope you learned from my pain. Couple of things. One, do remember that if you want a nice, even and easy Leadbelcher coverage on the terrain pieces, do a layer of Abaddon Black. That's if you don't have access to the sprays, because the Abaddon Black will be a blank canvas for the Leadbelcher, and because Leadbelcher is quite a dark colour, it complements each other quite well. Also adds a little bit of shading too. Make sure you give plenty of time for each layer to dry, as if you start painting on the next layer before you've finished letting the other layer dry, it's just going to strip it off the model, and then you'll end up with patches that show through. So enjoy those, enjoy painting them, and it's a nice easy one in this issue. And speaking of issues, if you want to make sure that you keep up to date on the latest issues on release, and if you want to learn a bit more of the content and a bit more information on that, then follow my man Big Beck Dan Skull. He'll have a brand new issue every week on release without fail, and he'll bring all of his knowledge and expertise to help expand and contextualize each issue. And that's that. So thanks again for watching. Please make sure you do subscribe, leave a comment down below about what you thought about this kit, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.